Did we really forget who Kawhi Leonard is? This is Kawhi Leonard, one of the most clutch, cold-blooded postseason assassins the game has ever seen. When the lights get brighter, he doesn't flinch. He dominates.
Rises up over Gordon and hits another one. Kawhi Leonard, step back three. He hits again. He can't miss.
Every year, people start writing off Kawhi Leonard. Washed, overpaid, a fading star, a curse to the Clippers. And yet, every single time he's healthy, he reminds us exactly who he is. Because when Kawhi is right, we're witnessing one of the most complete postseason players the league has ever seen. And what he just did, that wasn't just a strong showing. That was one of the greatest shot-making performances in NBA playoff history. I know, you're thinking, one of the greatest ever? That's a stretch. But is it? Go look at his shot. Better yet, ask the Denver Nuggets if it felt like an exaggeration. Because how exactly do you defend a guy hitting those kinds of shots?
Kawhi Leonard takes a peek, lets it fly. Got it! Kawhi!
The Denver Nuggets ran into a buzzsaw, and his name was Kawhi Leonard. From the opening tip, Kawhi was locked in, torching the defense with a nearly flawless performance. He finished the game with 39 points, hitting 15 of his 19. What's wild? Only 4 shots missed, and 3 of those were from long range. Inside the arc, he was almost untouchable, going 12 for 13 in a display of surgical precision. But these weren't just routine two-point. Kawhi put on a clinic in difficult shot-making. Fadeaways, contested jumpers, off-balance looks. He was sinking them. It was the kind of performance that'll make critics quietly erase years of doubt. You knew it was going to be a long night for Denver, when Kawhi's first shot was a smooth post-up against Jamal Murray, ending in a spinning fadeaway that looked too easy. And then came the highlight of the night. A missed shot leads to a rebound by James Harden, who pushes the ball up the floor. He finds Kawhi, who calmly walks into a deep pull-up three. No hesitation, just splat. Let's set the record straight. Kawhi Leonard is a sniper. Over the past 3 seasons, he's shot over 41% from deep, and his career playoff average 3 is 40%. He may not chuck as many as some other stars like Kevin Durant or Paul George, but make no mistake, he's one of the league's most efficient shooters from downtown. If there's one area of Kawhi Leonard's game that's beyond debate, it's his mid-range mastery. Right after draining a confident 3, Kawhi flipped the switch and went into full control mode for the rest of the half. He wasn't just scoring, he was manipulating the defense, playing chess while Denver scrambled to keep up. Take this possession. He gets the switch onto Jamal Murray. Jokic eyes him, trying to anticipate help, but Kawhi doesn't need much space. He uses quick, controlled movements, powers through contact, and rises above the defense like it's routine. To Murray's credit, he gave it everything, used his body well, stayed close. Then Aaron Gordon stepped in with a help contest at the last second. Didn't matter. Kawhi was locked in, and there wasn't a thing the Nuggets could do about it. Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. It didn't make a difference. You could have sent all 3 at once, and Kawhi was still getting his shot. Just look at how he closed out the half. Calm, composed, and unstoppable. By halftime, his stat line was a work of art. 21 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, just 1 turnover, and only 1 missed shot. That's not just efficient basketball. That's the definition of playoff poise. This is the version of Kawhi Leonard that makes defenses sweat, and fans remember why he's a 2-time Finals MVP. And if you were waiting for him to cool off in the second half, forget it. He came out just as ruthless, slicing up Denver's defense with cold-blooded precision. It was the kind of performance that gives you chills. Just watch this sequence. Jamal Murray starts off guarding Kawhi, doing his best to stay in front. But Kawhi spins, shrugs him off, and with Jokic ready to help, calmly rises up and buries the jump. Net barely even moved. Or how about this moment in transition against Aaron Gordon? Kawhi hits him with a sharp, aggressive jab step that sends Gordon reeling, worried about the drive. That hesitation is all Kawhi needs. He steps back and nails the shot. This wasn't a hot streak. This was a sustained surgical takedown, and he saved his deadliest for the clutch. First, it's a post-up against Kawhi backs him down, then senses Michael Porter Jr. coming to help, so he spins away from the double and still hits the fadeaway. Moments later, it's one-on-one again with Gordon. A slick between-the-legs crossover, a quick burst to the right, and he's in the air before Gordon can even react. Another bucket, another dash. What Kawhi did wasn't just impressive, was a masterclass in elite shot creation. He tore through one of the NBA's top defenses with cold, calculated precision. On the road, in the playoffs, under pressure. And here's the thing. This wasn't some flashback to the old Kawhi. This is Kawhi Leonard, right now, still terrible, and very much a force you have to reckon with. What we saw from Kawhi Leonard in Game 2 isn't something we've witnessed in a while, but it's exactly who he is at his best. Think back to just 2 years ago when the Clippers were up against Phoenix and everyone had the Suns pegged as the favorites. Kawhi walked into that building and averaged 34.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists on ridiculous efficiency. Even though the Clippers fell short due to injuries, he outplayed both Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in the process. That wasn't just a one-off. It was Kawhi doing Kawhi things. Fast forward to now, and it's even less surprising. Before these playoffs, Kawhi was playing at an elite level, just as he always does when he's fully healthy. Over the final 17 games of the regular season, he and the Clippers were on a tear, winning 15 of those 17 games. During that stretch, Kawhi averaged 25.5 points, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and shot a stellar 53% from the field, 45% from 3, and 83% from the line. That's why so many were picking the Clippers to upset Denver. While Nikola Jokic has championship experience, so does Kawhi. And when he's locked in like this, forget about it. There's simply nothing you can do. This is the same kind of performance we saw against Dallas in 2021 when, despite Luka Doncic's best efforts, Kawhi was a one-man wrecking crew all series long. James Harden hit the nail on the head when asked if Kawhi is truly appreciated. Not even a little bit, Harden said. It's always the negative. It's always about what he's been through, what he can't do, just because of things beyond his control. It's easy to overlook greatness when it's not always in the headlines, but Kawhi's impact when he's on the floor like this speaks for itself. I've always found the criticism of Kawhi to be unfair. You don't look like Kawhi Leonard, with his blend of physicality and skill, unless you're putting in serious work every day. This includes conditioning, recovery, and constantly honing his game. Injuries have tried to write Kawhi Leonard's story for him. But every time the league starts to forget, every time the noise gets too loud, he reminds everyone exactly who he is. He doesn't come back with a press tour or dramatic declarations. He comes back with results, with dominance, with calm, calculated brilliance on both ends of the court. And make no mistake, returning from injury isn't easy. It's grueling. It's painful. It requires a kind of discipline and drive most people will never understand. There's a misconception that sitting out is somehow a luxury, a way to coast. But for a player like Kawhi Leonard, it's the opposite. When he's sidelined, he's not resting. He's working to rebuild, working to recover, working to be ready. And when he finally gets back on the court, he does more than just play. He dominates. He doesn't need volume to be heard. His game speaks for itself. We talk so often about the greats. We throw that word around casually. But what Kawhi Leonard does when he's healthy is a level of greatness we rarely see. Effortless efficiency, two-way excellence, and a killer instinct that only shows up when the lights are brightest. It's time we stop focusing on what he's and start appreciating what he gives us every single time he's out there. Because for years he's been doubted, criticized, even dismissed, often by people who overlook just how much he sacrifices to be able to play this game. And yet every time he's counted out, he shows up and reminds the basketball world that he's still one of the most unguardable, unshakable forces the game has ever seen. So maybe it's time the conversation changes. Maybe it's time the criticism, and maybe, just maybe, it's time for a few apologies. Because what